Hello, it is I, 7109, here again today with another PGR stream. And yes, it has been quite a while, and hello there, Michael. Hi, how you doing, DJ? It's been far too long since I did a PGR stream. To be more precise, it's been 3 months. 3 months I have not continued the story, and so I have missed 3 events worth of stories. So, see, I haven't even completed chapter 26. Can't even access chapter 27. Alright then, it's finally for me to continue the story after all this time. Sure, it took my sweet time, but it's about time I get back into it. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. After a grueling 6 hours of non-stop battles, the trio finally reaches the entrance to the passage Short Halt spoke of. Counting the time spent backtracking through the debris for supplies, it's been over 10 hours since you awoke. If everything here is under Lithos' control, how long will it be till his final shot finds you? Something feels off. What's wrong? Things going too smoothly. Is this really the pace of Lithos? Lamia might not have even noticed herself, but she's become a bit more proactive compared to in the beginning. He probably doesn't even care. I've been in the area for almost a month. It's always been like this. Maybe you're special to him. He clearly wants to kill me, but he hasn't caught up with us yet. Nor sent any corrupted to stop us. Besides, the terrain is really complex here. But we managed to find our destination without much problem. That's true. I probably wouldn't have at least spent one whole day searching for the right path, yet here we are already. It's like someone's been guiding us. It's just the 3 of us here. Ha, who knows? It can very well be someone else in a place like this, for example, a Lithos clone, or a ghost of his, or those big guys up there. He points upwards at the swimming whales that clearly don't belong in the sky. There's nothing normal about this place, or the Ascendant. Who in their right mind would decorate the lair with flying whales, right? Perhaps it's the physical manifestation of someone's imagination. The amusement park and these whales, they're all like a fantasy from the mind of a child trapped at the bottom of a deep sea. She lifts her head and gazes at the whales swimming in the sky. Can an Ascendant really do something like this? Ascendants are skilled in disrupting others' minds, inducing hallucinations, using the punishing virus. The hallucinations are usually connected to the memories of the corrupted person and the Ascendant themselves. Sometimes those who use certain special methods. For example, in hospitals and laboratories there are existing corrupted with similar capabilities. They use those methods to set a fixed illusion, and all nearby constructs will be dragged into that illusion after being corrupted. Designing a massive illusion and putting it into the mind of a corrupted requires a lot of effort. No, it's usually much easier to use one's own daydreams as a template. It's just that the scope of this place seems beyond what can be achieved by corruption alone. It's more like a building itself is a corrupted. You seem to know a lot about Ascendants. But I, I, I simply heard about it, that's all. It could be an illusion created by a large number of virtual reality equipment and corrupted. I'm more inclined to believe this explanation. Even during the Golden Age, many famed resorts would use virtual reality equipment as their core. Still, if this really all a projection, it sure feels real. It's like I'm going insane. Plus, this place is ridiculously fast, probably bigger than even an aircraft carrier. Those things are pretty big. Could that purple-haired midget really have done all this alone? Maybe there are other ascendants involved. One of Luna's bodies? Huh? No. According to the intel, these two ancients are barely connected. I think it's highly unlikely. But Livhus is not the only one working on the fauna good. Zinfla might be here as well. Makes sense. Let's keep going. You can start by investigating that door. Ah, what door? Something wrong with your eyes? What? Upon closer inspection, you realize that you mistook the side of the fence for a door. Are you alright? He approaches you with concern and grabs your arm with his rough palm, trying best to hide your fear and disbelief from his scrutinizing gaze. Your eyes are bloodshot. How long has it been since you last rested? I only just woke up not long ago. This doesn't make sense. Puzzled, he cradles your face in his hands, yet his soft touch immediately sends a sharp pain shooting through your left cheek. The shin he just touched has split open. Blood streams down from the wound and drips onto your chest. Shota lets go right away, staring at his hands and believes you. You touch your cheek wound tentatively, and a whole piece of skin peels off, landing in your palm. Yeek! Your corruption must be quite severe. The serum shot you got won't last long. But it doesn't add up. If the severity of the corruption were due to the high punishing concentration here, Lily and I should feel it too. But seeing as high as the concentration may be, it shouldn't be causing this much damage so soon. Maybe it's the drug that's causing this. Oh, they're already treating me as an invalid who needs to be looked after. I think them would only make them more easily on the whole team. But fine, let's focus on the investigation now. Proper treatment comes after we get out. She extends her hand, but hesitates, looks down. What's wrong? Nothing. I get it. Let's split it up and investigate then. Livhus had been through 3 doors in this square, so each take one. That should save us some time. Okay, I'll take the door on the far left. Actually, let me take the left one. Previous timidness and blocks the door. I don't really mind, but why? Of course, Lami can't reveal the truth. She claimed the door on the far left because she sensed a path behind it that's filled with red tide. Neither constructs nor humans can normally enter such a path. This makes it an excellent spot for Livhus to hide his secrets. Guess I just have this feeling, Micah. Like the door might lead to somewhere only someone of my size can squeeze through or something. Alright, you go left then. For some reason, they seem the illogical statement immediately convinces Shoho. We're gonna trust our gut sometimes, after all. So like the two of us are especially partial toward the left door. Alright then. I'll take the middle. Commandant? You go right. The door doesn't seem very secure, so it's probably less guarded inside. It would be a better choice for you since you're injured. He puts the door on the far right, making sure you won't mistake something else for a door once more. In that case, wait, I think someone's got one. What? So you had a scan advice on you all along? We'll talk about this later. Hurry and hide! The three you crouch behind the carousel. Soon you hear combat noises from not too far away. Finding this kind of place? Could there be other survivors? Hard to tell. Let's wait and see. A moment after the battle noise ceased, light footsteps sound from behind the door on the right. Could it be? You peek from behind a wooden horse and look toward the cage door. Cleaning. Complete. No anomalies found. A monster you've never seen before is uttering human language in an elegant voice, struggling with syllables as it goes. Is this what Livhus referred as Sylvia's child? Darn it! These hedgehog creatures are becoming more increasingly similar to humans. Shh. Livhus still refuses to let us kill Loki. He says Loki is protecting. We just cannot let her go through. He knows that does more harm than good. not worthy to be mother's child. Finished. 4 hours later, you continue cleaning. Understood. No? Before you can make a sound, the girl next to you gestures desperately as if taking every ounce of her self-restraint and refrain from reaching out and covering your mouth. No, don't try to get his attention. It's not real Noah, it's just a copy created by Kurono. His memories have probably been tampered with as well. He definitely won't remember you. What? Copy made Kurono? How do you... Realizing that she had revealed something that she shouldn't have, the girl quickly retreats into the shadows. Not blaming you, just want an explanation, that's all. You said they used Simon as a hostage to threaten you to lure out no one, and now you're telling us that Kronos copied his mind. I'm not sure either way. Lamia hasn't quite grasped the disconnection between Chrono, Project Winter members, and defectors yet. All can she do is vaguely relay what she's heard from Lillian. It's what I heard. They told me that these people wanted to trade with Lithos, but were afraid he would betray them and simply disappear after getting what he wanted. That's why they had to hand Lithos a clone instead of the real thing. After all, only the original person themselves can be cloned. When exactly did this happen? No one is in Babylon's lobby at the time. The only opportunity someone could have copied his mind would be during the examination. Could there be members of the Purifying Force lurking within the Science Council? That can't be right. I think Simon once mentioned that after the Red Tide in Flux, Dark Ares was taken away for questioning. Could it have happened then? He's gone. Let's stop worrying for now. We can investigate when we get back. Our top priority now is to find where Lithos stores the mines. Only by killing him can we escape. Do the terminals you're holding work? Yeah. Let's contact each other every half an hour and report our progress and any difficulties we come across. Alright. If we don't hear from one of us after half an hour, the rest of us will head in their direction and find them. Got it. Be especially careful, Commandant. Your wounds haven't healed yet, so please be extra cautious. If you get seriously hurt here, we can't carry you out and transform you into a construct right away. You won't survive. Understood. Caught in the pit of despair, the four of the half people finally meet here. With different feelings in their hearts, they embark on a solitary journey following their own track. Red Tide projection? Nothing. A bad signal. That is Lithos. The many copies of Lithos. Alright, just drown them all.
幻。枠さの趣味。何度死んだっていいんだ。だから僕に任す。僕こそが最高の素材なのだから。何それ。その上こんなものに殺されるっていうのは。
Alright. Guess we just go around slapping things. I see a few more coming. Damn, they got massive jaws. Even got more hands too. Get out of my way.
影がだいぶはっきりとしてきた。まるで枠さの記憶みたい。
Ah yes, those jiggle physics truly the epitome
こ
of
んな形で
technology.
記憶を共有しているの。パパ、ごめんなさい。パパ、お願い。僕を愛して。パパ、ごめんなさい。パパ、お願い。僕を愛して。パパ、その名前を呼ばないで。痛い。痛いよ。お願い。一体何があったの。私の目、痛い。
Oh no, getting smacked.
私の目の前から消えろ。
Get out of my sight, you cheeky bugger.
泡のように
Let's go.
消えろ。静かにしろ。出ていけ。滅びろ。
Get out of my sight
沈
and
め。
drown.
海の底に。
Beautiful. Did that special went off twice?
終わった。終わったよね。
And she gets eaten. Wow. Bravo. Wronged timed rose, the rose withered by the brew of sin, born out of love, now only leaves a young seedling behind. Rowing the soil of hatred, it patiently waits until the day can seek revenge on everyone involved in Project Winter. Second check-in. Looks like everyone's safe. Any new findings? All I found were research materials on the mine. I can't understand half of it, but I picked them up anyway. We can bring them to the Science Council once we escape. In those reports, I spotted the names Kugawa Korono, Cinderlink, Loki, Fudu, and Syphilia. So Kugawa Korono was also involved in Project Symphilia. I'm not that surprised at all about it. What exactly is Symphilia? The beast that birthed the beast that birthed the twins. You know, the thing that's like a giant heart that Symphilia's incomplete form. In plain terms, it's her womb, just on legs. Huh? Here, it's all in the files. Just mention Loki and Voodoo. We have very little information on her anyway, so this is quite useful find. Shuttle waved the newfound documents in front of the screen. Let me see. Loki 465-45112. A test subject found in the basement after Project Simpler ended. She had been imprisoned for years due to aggressiveness and consciousness damage. In the concealed basement, she was left behind when all related personnel were cleared out. When they found Loki, she was ramming the cell door non-stop. Her head was severely wounded, and it was too late to do anything about it. All I could do was preserve her mind data with Mr.'s help. Loki's mind data was also damaged when her head was injured. Forcibly implanting into the body would only create a completely insane being. But I don't want to give up on her. Her state of consciousness is quite similar to Symphila's. I hope to find a way to stabilize her condition. It strongly save not only Loki, but also Symphila. If one's consciousness is not strong enough to keep their body stable, then it's better to grant that body another consciousness instead. Mr. asked me to obtain consciousness fusion technology for the humans and use it on her. The person who received the opportunity was someone from the Atlantic Commercial Alliance, said to be an abandoned legitimate child of Ashlar's. She had no name, nor any emotions. I could sense, in order to survive, she had turned into a mere obedient object, with no mind of her own. Voodoo 1. The experiment was a success. She became Loki's new vassal, a host of her uncontrollable emotions. This method can definitely be used to awaken Symphila, for her consciousness also suffers from similar flaws. Next, all we need to do is wait for the gospel to arrive, and Syndilic's wish will be fulfilled. Mrs. praised me for this. If only these students could be more of use to him. Looks like some records left by Lithos. After all, this place is an old haunt of his. Naturally, everything left behind must have belonged to him. Right. By the way, I also saw a name in some of the files that caught my attention. His name. Kilgore Trout. He was famous back in the Golden Age. A physicist, a psychiatrist, psychologist, author, and murderer. Have you heard of his name before?
No? Who's that?
Don't know him? He's practically a celebrity.
It's not that abnormal to not know much about the Golden Age, but why do you know so much about it?
I was a police officer before becoming a contract. I worked on both projects in the case of Kilgore Trout. Shothold's expression dims.
Yeah, you did, EJ.
Project Simpler was especially memorable. It was truly tragic.
Accident.
Accident? Oh, so they call it outside. Was it an accident? Of course not. Most of the purpose of the project may not be as far-fetched as publicity claimed. According to our informants, the purpose of the project might be to create war weapons to divide the world government once more.
So the purpose was war?
Indeed. It's nothing new. Amberia and the ARU was a victim of a similar situation as well. We were so close to catching them in the act, but the day before our operation, their incinerator exploded, seeing the whole research building ablaze.
That's why they call it an accident.
Yeah. Something must have gone wrong in the last experiment, causing all the subjects to go mad. In turn, they beheaded the researchers and stuffed their heads into their own stomachs. Shothold speaks of a scowl. By the time the fire was extinguished, the area around the incinerator was littered with executed subjects, all of them burned beyond recognition. The rest, they were headless scientists with swollen bellies.
Eek.
Some speculate this incident might have been connected to Professor Kilgore Trout in some way. Even if he was already dead by then, could have been a copycat of his own was involved. There wasn't much we could do about it, as we didn't have any concrete evidence. But now to see his name again in such a place...
What do you think that professor has something to do with Project Simpler?
Because, well, see, the goal of Project Simpler was to have the dead to be born again in the wombs of the subject. The way those scientists died with their heads stuffed into their own stomachs, it was like the killer's way of declaring, if you people want to rebirth this much, then do it yourselves.
A similar phrase appeared in Killer Gortrout's final autobiography.
I still don't see the connection.
Oh, it's a bit complicated to explain. Let's talk about it later.
Okay, you found anything, Lillian? I saw a lot of Lithos remnants, some mechanical parts of his frame, limbs, torso. There was a red tide projection too. Perhaps he died way more times than can be counted on two hands. The red tide projection keeps showing how he looked before his death.
Can an ascendant inherit memories for the red tide and the memories of their own physical form?
It is indeed possible. Some ascendants can even learn and read the memories of the corrupted. Besides, the red tide stores a lot of information, which is why the red tide projectors can appear. However, the memories stored this way are mostly fragmented. The red tide projections here are more intact than those outside, though perhaps Lithos did something to make it this way. Also, the red tide projections shown later are very calm, as if he had died by suicide.
Suicide? Why would he resort to that? With a large number of stable minds urgently needed for Project Sinfula, being ascended, Lithos is the perfect material. But Lithos is no victim. He'll really be willing to sacrifice himself? It's too early to draw conclusions right now. How are things on your end? There are only a few rooms along this path. They all resemble orphanage bedrooms. Orphanages have also become hotbeds of illegal activity. The higher-ups, in order to keep the birth rate from getting too low, lightened the punishment for child abandonment crimes after setting up a bunch of new policies. They also invested in the construction of multiple orphanages. The initial intentions might have been good, but the execution left much to be desired. You know about this, right, Lillian? Just now, Lithos said he and you both came from the same orphanage.
Yeah,
She clutches the hem of her shirt, never saying recounts what Lillian had told her.
there are indeed some orphanages that treat children as goods and sell them to various buyers. I was part of an early construct research program. The other children all died in the experiments. Lithos and I were the only ones to survive.
What exactly is the connection between these clues? Any other discoveries? Photo and some toys? Rubik cubes, building blocks, origami?
Did they used to belong to Lithos' friends?
No idea. The only other items I found were some hair accessories of Lithos.
Hair accessories?
Yeah, like that wooden flower on his head. Last room was filled with many such items. There were also wood slices, likely for crafting, along with carving knives and shavings. Looks like this is where he makes the hair accessories for himself. This guy is an enigma indeed. I heard that the hair accessories belong to someone else. Oh?
Seems like he's wearing on his head in the memory of someone else.
Oh. John Holt stretches out the syllable, as if understanding, though he's still quite confused. Let's continue the investigation. We haven't found where Lithos stored his mind backups yet.
Alright, then see you in half an hour?
Two hurriedly end the call. All is quiet once again. What kind of feelings did the Ascendant harbor when he sat alone in a room filled with belongings of his friends, working on these hair accessories? Pick up an accessory and examine it carefully. No matter how you look at it, it's just an ordinary wooden ornament. There's nothing special about it. Could he really have made so many of the same item just to celebrate someone's memory? Thought strikes you all of a sudden, effectively clearing the fog in your thoughts. I think I've seen this hair accessory before. Exactly, it's no longer possible to recall. This had been before Lucia started using Plume. On Dominic Memorial Square, you see a little girl whose face is full of sorrow. She was standing there alone, yet the patrolling drone seemingly inadvertently glances from passerby, all hidden by at her conspicuousness. After confirming the identity of those passerby, she decided to speak to her. Hello. I am Grey Raven Commandant Salt. What's your name?
My name is Rosa.
She answered the voice timidly. shivering unconscionably, eyes sliding around, trying to meet the piercing gaze directed at her from behind. Rosa, that's a beautiful name. You weren't sure what exactly was going on between the parties present, so you resort to unrelated small talk as a buffer. Yeah, Mummy said she loved the story of the little prince. She told me that I was the only rose on the planet to her and Daddy. Your parents must really love you. Yeah, but they've already passed away. Gently pat Rose on the back. She sobbed quietly, speaking in a barely audible voice. Was it you who sent me the message? Message? No, I'm just... Rosa, what are you doing here? Petra? Sorry, May I ask who you are? The woman in front of you scrutinized with her own grace. You must be Vanessa's classmate, the chief from VODS. Good day. I was indeed a classmate of hers. I'm Vanessa's mother. So she's mentioned me to you before? No. I saw your graduation photo posted on VOD's public subscription account, that's all. Are you Rosa's current guardian? No. Despite her heavy sword, little girl spoke firmly, clutching the hem of her shirt tightly. But Mommy did tell me that, when she was a little girl, Aunt Petra's grandfather took care of her. Alright, let's get out of here, Rosa. What are you standing around here for? No. Rosa refused to come out from behind you, still sounding rather timid. You're not her guardian, I'm afraid I can't let her go with you. No matter what, my connection with this child runs deeper than yours. Impatiently laced the lady's tone. Her mother was taken in by my grandfather during the Great Evacuation. He believed she must have been a distant relative who got separated from her parents, though there was no evidence pointing that way. The timing of the separation didn't match. He still brought that girl named Rose home, and she had her take our family name, renamed her Anne. I will never harm a young Rosa here. In fact, if you weren't the chief, I would find your interest in her rather suspicious. Stop standing around here, Rosa. It's all for your own good. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for someone. Someone told me they knew how my parents died as heroes. They told me to come here wearing my mother's hair accessories so I'll be able to find their names here. Died as heroes? Anne and Rand died in a household appliance accident. Right on your birthday, right in front of you, no less. Have you forgotten? Your name's carved on the Dominic Memorial Square, all the heroes who perished on the battlefield. No way you'd be able to find the names here. Who would deliberately fool a naive child by saying such a message? She raised her voice, gripping Rosa's shoulder tightly, as if in warning. Following her words, Rosa's tears began pouring down her face like blood from a wound, yet she seemed to have lost even the strength to sob out loud. I'll take her home. Can you trust me with this? Fine. Petra tucking a stand of hair behind her ear. I guess that'll remind you of Vanessa turned around to leave. Do you still have a place to go back to? Yes, my godfather's place. Your godfather? Rosa lifted her head, pointing toward the direction of the Science Council. After crying with Asimov, he learned that Rosa was the orphan of his friends and seniors at work. Asimov, still young at the time, had reluctantly agreed to become Rosa's godfather under their insistent convincing. Even back when they were alive, Anne and Rand often worked outside of Babylonia. Rosa grew up lonely, with the domestic robots at home as her companion. Under their guidance, she picked up a lot of concepts quite advanced for her age. She was a true prodigy, possessing an astonishing amount of talent beneath her youth exterior. Despite her age, she became a capable assistant of Asimov's. Asimov declined to answer any further questions. Long after that, Lucia mentioned the dossier she saw and the intelligence she had gathered. She spoke about the Ascendants connected to Ravage, about Project Winter, about Anne and Rand, the Science Council members who died because of it. Why did Asimov look so sorrowful when those two were mentioned? Why would they, members of the Science Council, not work in the same location such as Babylonia? Or was there perhaps no longer any need to hide the true allegiance of the deceased? Encrypted dossiers don't lie. They present a reality utterly contradictory to what you thought was truth. Died due to Project Wind. No, you'll have a fake answer to the question he refused to answer that day. Waking up from your leave, you looked down the plain hair accessory once again. You didn't notice the hair accessory back then, but now it seems there might be a connection between Rosa and Lithos. Think this over later. Tossing the hair accessory aside, you turn around and set off toward another unexplored area. Must find where Lithos stores his memories to defeat him once and for all. Can't keep everyone waiting for too long. As the human silhouette disappears at the end of the corridor, the discarded hair accessory rolls off the table and begins to spin along the floor. Whatever it touches, red tide seeps out from underneath the walls. The roaming red tide projections as phantoms in a haunted painting keep repeating the words from their owner's memories. It's useless, no matter what I do. Mister, I left too soon. Even if one day I manage to create a vessel for the deceased consciousness, they have no consciousness left for me. I can't save them. I was once able to believe that Rosa might be still alive, but that was just wishful thinking on my part. Mister, I want to go help them. I know you don't like that project, but I believe it can help more people. You said that your current goal is to help us survive the disaster brought by the vanishing virus. One can't fight against disaster without a good amount of strength, so I'd like to share some strength with humanity. I don't want to see more people forced to face the same pain I did. If you're worried that they will control me, that they will use my powers to expose our secrets, please, plant a seed in my body that can kill me in any moment. It's alright, you saved my life, so of course you can use and kill me at will. Accessory hits the corner of the wall and it stops rolling. Red tide projection is stirred up, as it disappears into the cracks of the floor. It's like in its ill-fated owner, all the remains of all the blood-red flowers blooming in the corner. Caught right on. Once the call is cut off, Lamia temporarily refers to her original appearance. She stares down at her legs, indistinguishable from a human's, lost and full. The orphanage. Back in Atlantis, she had wished countless times to leave the place sooner and see what the real world was like. But what happens after that? Wanna bet your luck? Wanna bet that you be sent to a legal orphanage instead of getting dragged into some inhumane experiments? No child who falls into that kind of hell has it easy. A premature death might actually be a mercy. Those unfortunate enough to survive spend decades trying to escape the trauma. Personally, I think compared to those people, their standards aren't so bad. With a bitter smile, she handed over her identity to Lamia. Lamia wanders absent-mindedly along the corridor, preoccupied by past memories. Gabriel's disappearance didn't praise her. Roland and Alpha were constantly busy doing what they could for Luna. She had grown accustomed to that. Even a certain human who used to contact her often said he wished had been fulfilled and there was no need for them to remain in regular contact. And even Lillian found a better, more reliable place to be. And that has how those who had formed fragile bonds with her in the past all left in the end, one after another. Lamia sighs and squats down in the corner. She's not utterly clueless regarding where to investigate, she'd just rather avoid it if possible, for she has detected a large concentration of red tide under the ground at the end of the corridor, alongside a punishing hetero hive with extremely high concentration. How will she clear the red tide, expose the target, and lure those two unexpected individuals over here? This is exhausting. If it weren't for how dire the situation is, she would have snuck off to an unnoticed corner and spent her time gazing at the sky or the sea, indulging in trivial thoughts, or at least a blissful moment. I rest now. Must come up with something quickly. Though she is determined, her body refuses to cooperate. Lamia stands here looking down the basic terminal they gave Lillian, and the mermaid's hand holding it. There are many dangers here, just like the Grey Raven Commandant said. Corruption is essential to defeating Lithos and possibly escaping. Lamia was included as part of the team under Lillian's identity, but all is just a lie after all. How much longer can she keep this lie going? Once exposed, she'll be attacked from all sides. She's no stranger to this feeling of belonging nowhere. The mermaid princess in The Daughter of the Sea, who gave up her fishtail in order to walk among humans. A place, no matter how magnificent, was never meant for her. A mermaid princess. That sounds a bit too lavish for a title for her. Lamia feels way more like a lone monkey, undercover in a crowd of humans. With this thought, she finds it even harder to continue her investigation. Might as well pretend to have lost the terminal, she tells herself. That way she can rest here for a while longer, accompanied by her melancholic thoughts and mental exhaustion. As long as no one finds out, she isn't slacking off. All investigations are smoothly carried on. As long as no one sees. A faint breeze shifts through the silent corridor. How can there be wind in this kind of place? She stares toward the direction the wind is coming from. At the end of the corridor, a nightmarish figure appears. Found you? Loki.
泡のように消えろ滅びろ
No?
痛い
Second transformation. What's the point of howling if it doesn't howl? Oh, I removed all my bonuses.
海の底に
My entire engage, how rude.
私の目の前から消えろ
Alright, now we can have some action.
消えろ邪魔者め出ていけ
There we
滅びろ
go.
沈め
Now we can
海の
finish
底に
this. Very annoying how disruptive that was.
消えろ静かにしろ私の目の前から消えろ泡のように
There we go.
消えろ
Much better. Soon we will encounter an even greater crisis. Only through a soldier's sacrifice, the knight protect the princess and make their safe escape. Tower of Fantasy. Yeah, that's that is Loki and Voodoo. Loki is a psychotic personality that's trapped in Voodoo's body. And I'm pretty sure up in this part of the story they separated Voodoo and Loki from the same body. And Loki is just insane. She just goes around and tears things up. And what I've heard in the story so far, she was already insane when she was bound by the Ascended, so you know. The illusion collapses, ready to reverse to its original state. I did it! Lamia stares down at her hands in disbelief. This is the first time she's defeated a Transcended, all by herself. And it's Loki, no less, who's an adept attacker. The joy is short-lived, for a defeated opponent soon shakily rises from the floor. Loki, as if spurred by her own cries of agony, Loki expands her battered wings, struggling to ascend into the area in the narrow tunnel. I'll kill you! I'll kill you! All of you! No one can even hurt me again.
You're the one who attacked me first.
Loki can't hear Lamia's protests amid the chaos. Driven by rage and despair, she charges at Lamia with all her might. Let me go! Let me go! Let me go! She's hopping to escape from the cramped cage. While she's grown tired of this body she's imprisoned in. The crazed goose actions seem to be dictated by her overflowing pain, even though she clearly sees Lamia dodge. She's a challenge the same direction nevertheless. The force of the ramming tears apart her already shattered frame completely. The caged goose, finally having nothing left to give, sinks into her mother's embrace along the crumbling floor.
What is that?
Foaming red tide splatters elsewhere, revealing her face as serene as a statue. In her embrace, Loki's cries gradually weaken, her uncontrollable fury dissolving under the bizarre giant tree like a pill of water. The woman, whose form was completely merged with the giant red trees, tenderly embraced the dying figure in her final moments. Lamia remains frozen in place for a full minute before mustering the courage to cautiously approach the strange tree. Its roots are submerged in the red tide. Lamia can clearly sense that the red tides beneath the ground she saw before had in fact originated from these very roots. They are buried underground in the room. The red tide flows through them as they were blood vessels. Looking up, she sees objects resembling blood bags hanging from the tree's top, absorbing the red tide transported by the roots. She can even see some wiggling creatures inside them. They're just like the artificial wombs read about in the materials. Could it be that those weird history creatures were born from here? She steps into red tide, hopping in to pluck a bag for closer observation, but a strange twitching from underneath her feet nearly drags her under the ground. Yeek! She shoots up in horror and flees the area, narrowly escaping being entangled by the roots. Lamia senses buried secrets below and realizes the need for a deeper investigation into the red tide disturbance. However, the sticking feeling clinging to her legs makes her utterly unwilling to approach the spot again. She looks around, hoping to find something else she can investigate. Soon she notices that the walls are covered in honeycomb-shaped metal shelves, resembling cremation furnaces. She smashes open the sealed shelf door and pulls out a huge jar from inside. It contains a soaked body, facial features completely indistinguishable.
All the limbs have been removed, and the frame so small. Is this Lithos?
Lamia taps the jar curiously, wondering if it can be destroyed just like that. But right at the moment, the red tide beneath the tree begins to pulsate strangely again. She knows she can't keep dragging it out. Lamia sheathes her weapon and reverts to Lillian's form. She pulls out Lillian's makeshift terminal, ready to call for Lillian's reinforcements. Perhaps the impact from the previous spell was too great, but the quality of the makeshift terminal was poor to begin with. No matter how Lamia fiddles with it, she gets no response. Is it broken? As if to add insult to injury, the strange surge of echoes overtakes her senses once more.
Stay calm. There's nothing to be afraid of.
She tiptoes closer to the giant tree adorned with embryos, peering into the red tide underneath the woman.
Are those eggs?
As if drawn by irresistible force, Lamia reaches out her trembling hands and lifts out from the blood-red abyss an egg that's pulsating like a heart. In that instant, countless vivid illusions flood her vision.
It's over. Brave Raven Commandant.
Are these memories or a vision of the future? Does it kill that woman? Lamia's head thrums in pain, cautiously nearly torn into pieces by the maelstrom of information.
This is mine. I'm not keeping it to anyone.
Heavy sensation in the heart, like holding a baby. She's losing control over her body, her consciousness is flowing out of her skull like water.
Rest in peace. Join Safla in your eternal grave at the bottom of the sea. Now that I have the key, I won't have to worry about anything anymore.
No, this isn't right. The mermaid has to endure marionette who surrendered everything to the monstrosity in her hands. This is the punishment you deserve, Ascendant. The youth's empty eyes are filled with murderous intent. You should already know that, even if you obtained the key, you still won't be able to reach the tower's summit that you steal. Final gunshot brings inevitable death. She's dragged into the boundless darkness by the icicle waves. Only to open her eyes again under the ghastly fluorescent lights of a medical room.
Is that Mother?
The woman's body is covered by green surgical drapes, her exposed wounds hotly ghastly. Director, this is Lia's child. It's a girl.
No, this is the time to look at me. There's another person over there. Save her. Please save her. Yet memories are incapable of giving a response. Well, she steps behind the curtain and extends her hand towards the lifeless body. I finally returned to your side. Please take me back. Let me return to your body. Don't leave me. Please love me. Please. Please love me. If you could give back to me once again, this time I can surely do better. Her pleas stir the emotions of the being closely entwined with her, creating a sense of sorrow and yearning that binds the two even tighter together. That's right, just one more step forward. Closer, closer. Just one more step forward. And she'll be able to touch the mother she never met and become one with her. Hey. A pair of hands grip her tightly from behind. Ah! She awakens from the illusion and finds herself back in the cold, silent reality. Due to the shock, the egg in her hands has fallen back into a pool of red tide. What were those visions now? Lami has no idea, but she has an inexplicable feeling that it's exactly what Luna is searching for. Are you insane? Jumping into the red tide with your arms around a hedgehog creature? I'm sorry. She backs away hastily, almost tripping over a jar that was pulled out. Sorry, I got carried away. I shouldn't have used that harsh tone. Half an hour's passed and no word from you, so we came looking for you only to find you here turning out with that hedgehog creature in your embrace. The commander was practically scared stiff. I was attacked! Loki was here. Loki? Are you okay? Did she hurt you? Ah. In fact, it's the first time everyone's apologized to Lami after scorning her. It's the first time someone ever asked if she was hurt. Usually when she reported that she had just been attacked by an enemy, Luna and Roland would simply ask if she won the battle. As for Alpha, she would barely react. I'm fine. She crashed through the floor while charging at me and I fell down here with her. She was already wounded then and ended up being consumed entirely by the red tide over there after the fall. I wanted to check if she was truly gone and I began to hallucinate immediately when I took a few steps in that direction. You were very close to the red tide. The fact that you didn't turn into a corruptor is already a miracle in itself. Yeah. Luckily you guys were out so soon. I think I was only stuck there for a few seconds. You should establish a mind connection with me. It would be too dangerous otherwise. No, there's no need. Sensing the doubtful look from the human beside her, Lily quickly lowers her head. Yes, if we create a connection, then we would know who it truly is. How did you two get here so quickly? We encountered some bizarre little creatures on the way. Oh yeah, those ones right there. He points at the phantom resembling a sea creature floating lightly in the air near the entrance. When you mentioned that someone could be guiding us all along, I thought of them immediately. I was also guided by them. Do these little creatures usually tend to lead the way? I have no idea. It's not like the others needed guidance before. They wouldn't be able to get out no matter what anyway. I'd love to catch one for research, but they always moved out of the way as soon as they reach out. They even lead me straight to our enemies. I thought they were Lithos guards or something. Oh, they moved out of the way? Huh? Did they do the same for you? You raise your hand and those jellyfish-like veins come swarming over, circling you gently before gently touching the wounds on your hand. Wait, don't move. She tips over, but just as she's about to pounce upon one, they immediately vanish without a trace. Ah. Let's not worry about those harmless things for now. They seem to like the Commandant only. It'll be pointless to capture them. Look at this. These ascendants are showing getting more twisted by the minute. What's this anyway? From a safe distance, he fires a few shots at the woman who's becoming one of the giant tree. Holes created by his shots will only remain for a moment before automatically cleaning up. Shot Halt fires a few more shots, only receives the same results. Tisk. It's like what happened with the twins before. It heals way too fast. Could this be the Symphola that Lithos mentioned? Most likely. We can't just leave this thing be with the situation outside. We absolutely won't be able to withstand a second disaster brought by the twins. I agree. Do you still have those electromagnetic pulse bombs on you? Of course. Those are the most precious treasures I've got during my month of wandering here. I've blown up this place countless times in my dreams, but we still haven't found Lithos' mind backups. Should be on the honeycomb cabinets around there. Hearing her words, you and Shothold immediately gather around the cabinets.
This construct has nothing but a torso left. This should be it. Nothing but a torso, huh? He pauses for a moment and suddenly barks out a dry laugh. What? Nothing. I just suddenly remembered that it was how I looked too when I first woke up. Huh? It's fine, I've already assembled myself. Let's continue dealing with the following issues. I owe you a thank you too, by the way. Not only did we find the main target, we also discovered Simfla. This is a huge win for us. It really helped a lot. Really? Of course. Lami is hit with a brief moment of joy, just like back when she was given a coffee cup toy back in the day. Now that we found the target, let's get started. First we dig out the stuff in the cabinets. Those little ones have limited power. Short Prize opened several cabinets and then checked the contents while two behind him stand waiting. Are you guys just standing there and reminiscing over your glory days or something? Come and lend me your hand. Well, MIKU just begun to relax due to the praise she just received and the fact that she hasn't been busted yet tenses up once more. Sorry, I'm coming. We've already helped along the way here. You aren't fully recovered yet, so take it easy. Then you come help. Sigh. I feel like a bodyguard and a nanny at the same time. It was just like this when I was back in Scarab. And things haven't changed one bit. Lily approaches timidly amid Shorthold's complaints. I heard that in thriller movies, the most reliable characters are always the ones who die first. Huh. You're cursing me now? Oh no. She expects Short to laugh it off, yet he simply pauses work and leaves a long sigh. Who knows? That's exactly what happens. For some reason, I've been feeling a strange sense of deja vu during this journey with you two, as if this isn't the first time I've done these same things. As if this isn't the first time? Forget it. I just found the path too easily familiar, that's all. But everything feels alien again now that we reached this point. He subconsciously touches the pocket holding these candies that are entirely empty. I remember that Valeria gave me a whole pack. There were over 100 candies in there, but I only recall eating 2 and giving you 1. It's like there's a piece of my memory that's missing. I still don't understand why Lithos left me alive. He could have easily killed me here. After thinking about it, I've decided there's only one possibility. I still come in useful as part of his plan. Useful, huh? We've come this far. Things have gone far beyond Lithos' expectations. What happens next is anyone's guess. If I can't make it back, bring a message to Valeria for me. Tell her to delete all my embarrassing videos. No, actually, just say hello to her and bunch him for me. I've had enough of you and your stupid faces. You don't rush me to join me anytime soon. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tell them that. You can tell them yourself. Don't be so heartless. It's just that, you see, don't you think this is some kind of situation that often appears in movies? Soon we encounter even greater crises. Only through a soldier's sacrifice can the knight protect the princess and make their safe escape. The people cheer for a victory, and sacrifice ends up merely celebrated for a short while, or completely forgotten. Unless we have some insane scriptwriter here, it's the most unlikely outcome.
What happens then if the scriptwriter is indeed insane?
In that case, everyone beside the real villain meets a grisly end, or ends up living a life worse than death.
But who's the real villain here?
Lumley wonders, though she can't voice her question. Compared to such an unexpected outcome, I'd much rather that the plot follows the usual cliches. At least you guys get to live. Shut up. What? Given my corruption level of my wounds, I'll probably be the first to fall. This is just the time to say don't give up harm. There's always a way. Can't believe that you, the great hero walking beacon of humanity, are such a thing. I'm human, but I just gonna feel sorry. Ha, true. The situation is completely different from what we've been through in the past. No allies, no way out. Our bodies are slowly decaying. Even hero can feel lost and suddenly blinded. As confused as I may be, we'll fight to the very end. He bursts into a laugh, almost reaching out to slap your shoulder, but catches himself just in time. Okay, I'll also fight next to you to the very end. Watching the two encourage each other, Lillian takes a dejected step back. Lillian? Huh? There are no positions to say this, as an injured one. In such a perilous situation, only way you can escape is by sticking together. Don't be afraid to rely on others. We also rely on you. If anything happens, make sure to establish a mind connection with me. Lami would have been super touched and grateful if the human hadn't addressed her as Lillian in the beginning. Yeah, I understand. If you weren't here, the world outside is filled with corrupted and hetero creatures. It sure is rare for someone as introverted as you to survive this long without seeking help or offering your own. I remember Dark Areas is done recubicating. They will be proceeding to the clean zone for missions. Simon told me back then that everyone was getting along much better than when the squad was first reformed. Now, this is a topic Lami knows nothing about. Lillian rarely shares stories about Dark Areas. She doesn't seem close to anyone. Judged from her attitude toward the team, this is likely the truth. Unable to find an explanation, she remains silent, helping Short Halt smash the captains. Under the eerie gaze of the giant tree, the three spent half an hour there just smashing the cabinets. After pulling out all the jars, they finally noticed the bodies in the jars in the back. Some of them are significantly larger than the previous ones, resembling an adult's torso more than anything. Why do these torsos vary in size? Probably vessels for different body types. The jars holding the large torsos all have the end at the beginning of their net serial numbers. There are a few of them in total, but they all boast more recent sealing dates. Must be new prototypes designed by VODS. Let's not worry about the specifics. Right now we have only one task: destroy these things. These mine replicas, that bizarre tree, the woman inside it, all of them must be destroyed. As he speaks, he smashes the final cabinet open and freezes in place. Short Halt? Following his gaze toward the last cabinet, you see a construct lying in a jar, its overall outline obviously resembling. Is this you? Shh! I should have expected Livos to do this to me. Short Halt. Though he doesn't voice those exact words, Short Halt's expression says it all. He can't be sure if he's the real Short Halt even himself. Damn it, sentence. Should we rescue you from the jar first? Rescue? Looks down at his own self lying in the jar, and at the two people sitting near him. One wounded him, the other a petite girl with dodgy eyes. This is a summoned ally from one of those video games. As the creator must have protected it with layers of encryption. Won't be able to unlock that. If we can't awaken this thing, it's just to end up an extra burden for us all. They might figure something out if we take it back to Babylonia, but... Clenches his fists in rage. What good does having another me do anyway? We can guarantee the other me will walk the same path I do. Even if I get lucky and I'll have another me to share the workload with, I just have to share everything I like with him too. It's alright if it's just resources. But Valeria? What about Valeria? Seasoned soldier who's been calm and reliable all this time, will kicks the jar once and punches it well before he begins pacing around it anxiously. The self-inflicted struggle lasts a full minute before he recovers his cheerful train of soft spacing. Alright. Let's blow it up alongside everything else. But to hell with those philosophical questions. Who cares if it's the real me or not? If I'm the one out of the two who's conscious now, the one who can make decisions, what does that tell you? It tells me that I'm the real one at this current moment. Nothing else matters. Let's go ahead and do it. The bombs I've been saving for this so long are finally gonna come in handy. I like how Alpha and Lucia have this intense relationship because they're both the same person. And Short Halt's like, oh, there's another me. Well, I'm just gonna blow up other me. Yeah, let's get to work. Well, that's sad. Can we kill her this way? This place is filled with swarms of red tide, and hedgehog creatures can regenerate easily if there's red tide in the vicinity. She glances sideways at the giant tree. The woman inside the tree twists and turns slowly, as if trying to break free. Is it destroying Lift's mine replicas enough? Escaping as soon as we can is what matters the most now. Escape? Escape where? Once this thing goes out, the whole world will be thrown into chaos. He's right. Now we've discovered Simpler, we can't let her leave. There's no turning back now. We can't just think of ourselves. We must stop disaster from happening here and now. Okay. Start assembling, quickly. Yeah. They're uneasy, she rapidly compromises. Unleash torrents. Oh. Well, I'm currently organizing a collab, and there's, which is gonna be tomorrow, but there's suddenly some sudden changes. Damn it. What's the problem with organizing collabs? You know, you organize it in once, then something happens, and things happen on the last minute. Alright, things are sorted for the collab, don't worry. Oh dear. Joys of organizing collabs of VTubers. Alright. About an hour and a half later, everything is in place. The trio retreat to a safe zone and activate the detonator. With a loud bang, the great tree and all the replicated memories stored beside Simpler turn to ashes in the blaze. The entire space turns dark amidst the shaking, reminding Lami of the darkness she saw when she fainted from the severe pain. Ever since she touched that giant egg, she's had a vague feeling that this entire space itself is alive. Did the power go out? Hard to believe there's even electricity in this forsaken place. Yev activates the portable lightning symbol, casting light into the dark tunnel where countless maws and fangs are glowing a ghastly white. We hit the jackpot. Turn off the lights, stand back to back, get ready for battle. The call comes too late as swarms of giant toothed amoebas charge directly at Lillian, following the light. She frantically pulls out 2 rusty daggers with reply, but before she can retaliate, another abyss angel descends from above, taking a bite out of her flesh. Ah! Sharp teeth pierce through the artificial skin, leaving a patch of crimson blood on her back. Open fire. Bullet following the predicted trajectory. Trajectory hits the creature clinging to her and suddenly slides it down to the ground. Fall back! Shorthalt pushes Lily aside, he's sort of slicing through a gap even more just in time. Shorthalt, you still have a few grenades left with you, right? Just one left. Toss it. Keep quiet. If it, Shorthalt immediately tosses the grenade and he's been holding to cover the 2 retreating behind him. Grenade explodes in a blinding light. Staying back to back, the 3 of you pass eyes over your surroundings without turning on your flashlights. Click. A crisp sound echoes down from the stairs. Click, click, click. Sounds like someone's walking in slow and abnormal fashion. The crimson particles of the punching like a stream rushing amidst the downpour start gushing down the steps as the sound slowly moves its way. The lights that have gone out start flickering in the comforting twinkle of the red light spots. With the darkness swirling the light, she walks over the carpet of shadows. She nods gently at the trembling swords, allowing the light to outline her, form before darkness finds its way back into her body again. Hurry up and run. She's awoken. We're stuck. There's nothing but those monsters from earlier back there. Commandant, you get rid of her here. She's going to join Lifos and have us cornered if we let her get away now. But I haven't figured out her attacks. Hedgehog creatures back there are going to start jumping on us if we wait any longer. We can't learn how she fights unless we fight her. Trying to know. Now what? Do you have a better plan? Just make sure these things don't get in my way, yeah? Shotgun grips his weapon sitting in front of the 2. Just lights out again. Shotgun raises the gun he's been holding and takes aim at the shadow lurking in the darkness. Right when she comes close enough, a bullet hits Simfla squarely in her claw. With an agonizing scream, she takes a few steps back. Watch out! The egg in her hand is missing. Behind you! A rush of crimson light bursts into your arms, shattering one of your ribs before you have a chance to dodge. Ugh. Your skin starts blistering right after coming into contact with the egg. Your jacket becomes soaked with liquid that's a mixture of your blood and red fluid of the hedgehog creature. Showing up fashionably late, 2 daggers thrust deep into the most crimson part. Lillian jumps up, flips over, and holds it in place with her own weight to keep it away from you. The blistering wound had been more than skin deep. It stained a few more seconds longer than it was. Whoa, direct contact with hedgehog creature? Are you both okay? I'm fine. For some reason, she sounds calm and firm. Commandant? Why? Before you can say more, Sifla lets another scream that sounds like a moan. My head? It's my mind. With it, Lamia starts seeing a whirlwind of memories of people who are long gone. Enveloped in emptiness, Lamia is plunged into a deep sea of solitude, accompanied by familiar agony. Connect with me, Leon. But can't let them see me because no one is going to escape. Except a wolf in sheep's skin. It doesn't even matter that I never asked to be like this. While her chaotic memories trap her in the spot, the egg breaks free of her dagger and returns to the embrace of its mother. Shorthalt. In a panic, you try to alert Shorthalt, which keeps itself hidden in the dark. How can I possibly? As a source of intelligence, you find your worth in survival. She seeks answers from reason, only to be met with chaotic whirlwind. Source of intelligence, right? The egg. Yeah, I have to be careful. You've been paying extra attention to that thing for quite a while now. Because my head still hurts so much. Like a predator that has its eyes on a target, it charges straight at the now defenseless human. Block with an arm. The egg charges at the human again, with 7 of its punishing stingers piercing the human's arm. She fires several shots at the twisted creature, which successfully drives it away and screams splatters of blood. Run! Or you're gonna die! Can't do that. Just can't let her go like this. There's no going back now. You have to stop her here once and for all. Pain is so excruciating it all but knocks you out cold. It doesn't seem like the world wants to go on any easier on you. Commandant, get behind me.
Why would anyone not want to live? Have you all gone crazy?
Light once again returns to the world around you. That's when you see Shortheart. What? Before the two's very eyes, his sturdy figure shatters into countless pieces, plummeting to the ground without even affording him the opportunity to shout or utter a final word.
Sure.
With it, Shortheart's final fluids and mind splash onto Symphala. It takes less than a second for the fluids to seep into her body.
How could this be?
The ground wiggles and swallows the pieces that were once Shortheart. The man who once fought for the past and future, for Valeria, who once looked out for another, you, has made his way back to the womb of Mother in earth and pieces. Without leaving so much a trace, open fire at Symphala.
Wait up there.
What? Lillian pushes you out of the way before there's even time for you out. Two of you tumble toward the corner in confusion.
It's coming this way again. It's flying. It's super fast.
The girl struggles to get back on her feet and falls onto the ground. In trembling fear, she has to lean against the wall behind her to keep herself from falling again.
Interference is very bad.
The egg is making an irresistible hum, attracting the one who once embraced it. Lillian,
Make a mind connection with me. What?
the wiggling noise is inching the way by the second.
Come on, we've got to do this.
At her wit's end, she grasps your scared hands. Strange sensation coming through your mind beacon seems to explain why the girl was refused to connect you all this time.
Lillian?
The giant egg, however, charges its way again, leaving you no time to ponder further. This time it's coming straight for Lillian. Watch out! You still barely know her, but she did play her part in helping all of you to find Nifla's mind replicas and trying to protect you just now. Yet in this moment she remains frozen in spot as she trembles in fear. Continues shooting. Hearing the gunshot, the egg turns around immediately, sending your last bullets flying straight into the empty tunnel. The tunnel starts shaking so violently that it looks like it might collapse any second. Having regained her composure through the mind connection, Army quietly recounts on her blessings.
Let's run.
There's still hope. As long as she gets out of this place, she can live on as Lillian.
Where to?
In a panic, she frantically tries to look for a way out. Lillian. Like spectators in the arena, the monster makes no move whatsoever, as they watch the two of you struggle to find a way out. In the dim light, a hunter walking right in front of you throws out her pet, while she circles leisurely around her prey behind.
I can steal, but no, wait. I'm not alone. We've already...
There's nothing we can do here. There's nothing here is our favor. There's no point trying to run from this. People are going to die if we let her out now. Snap out of it, Lillian. Pick up Shortheart's longsword. She trembles as she watches you charge alone into the pitch-black nightmare. You refuse to give up, even if your wounds screaming in excruciating pain from the festering, and your splotchy, blurry vision warning you of the mind beacon's corruption. Your arms no longer possess the usual power, so you decide to fling the sword and take advantage of the inertia that comes with it. Even with all odds against me, I'm fighting down to the very ounce of my being. Kamui has taught me this much. Ready, set. Fling the sword. As the sword flung off, Shortheart's final foot lands on the egg. At the same time, the egg takes a slash at its outer layer from the sword, causing the sword's inertia. Wounded, the giant egg crashes to the ground and starts wriggling hideously. You cough out a spit of blood, feeling your head growing heavier by the second. You feel a warm tickle of fluid down the corner of your eye. Without even touching, you know that it's blood and not sweat. You know that it has to be blood, because there's no way you're going to shed tears here. Not even when you might pass out cold the next second. Steady breathing, prepare yourself for the next round of attack. The dark space around you shakes again. The monster, apparently having sensed someone coming its way, steps back brutally, leaving Symphala pausing her movements temporarily. It's now or never. Raising the sword again, with every last ounce of your power, you deal another blow at the egg that's still struggling. The sword pierces through the giant egg and nails it firmly to the ground. With it, the egg lets out a sharp cry to the point of being ear-splitting. The cry alerts its mother. Hesitating no more, Symphala walks over this way in hurried footsteps. 3 bullets left. You raise your hands, they're feeling as heavy as rocks. You train your weapon squarely at Symphala, who's coming straight for the egg. Open fire. At this point, you are so worn out that you lose balance and collapse against the wall behind you from the firing shot. For a moment's run, every which direction as the roaring and shaking intensify. You show that Lillian have no trouble making out here on her own if she takes advantage of this window. Should I ask her to run for it? Can I retell if she's in ascended through a mind connection? Your head overflows with blazing thoughts as your body's surprising excruciating pain. On top of it, Sympha is fast approaching you, leaving you no time to think. Lillian! Trembling incessantly, Lillian looks back and forth between you and Sympha, who's trying to save the egg. There's still a chance for a redemption. All she needs to do is increase both her and the human's chance of making it out here alive. Is to lose her disguise and fight Sympha as the said that she is. Except she knows that she'll be putting her own life at risk if she loses her disguise, now only to find out Sympha was never trusted Lamia, and she doesn't see what she stands to gain from it. But every second that passes by puts the Commandant to someone who's trusted her that much closer to death. Why does she care when the relationship is as good as transient? That's right. To an ascendant who keeps a safe distance from the punishing, these people are essentially coffee cups, network cables, or writing pads. In short, they are substitutes for toys. I like this one. This is the only one I like. I hate myself for not even being able to keep a coffee cup. She has such a faith Sympha along, either way. Whether she lets the human die or lets Sympha see that she's here. Aye. But living in constant fear is truly torturous. Screw it, MIKU is nothing. She screams hestically as she charges towards which she knows has no chance against. A split second later, her halberd blade lashes through Sympha's long whip. In a blinding spark that ensures her mermaid form overshadows her body. I'm sick and tired of having to give up every time. I'm sick and tired of being scared. Mom? Surrounding her, a high connection of punishing turns into a countless blades that shoot straight at Sympha. Might as well take a step forward if I'm going to end up getting it anyway. Controlled by the Ascended, the red tide around Sympha ceases flowing. Sympha and her egg too have slowed down. The splitting headache hits you. The world around you seems to turn into a kaleidoscope of glass balls sliding in every which direction. While Lamia is aflame with determination, the corruption of your mind begins quickly dragging you all the way down to the darkest part that lies at the bottom of the flames. The more she uses her abilities, the faster it's wearing you down. This is what happens when one connects themselves to an Ascended, and being a genius only elevates these consequences to a certain degree. It doesn't help that there's only a thin layer of protection standing between you and the highly dense punishing that permeates the air around you. What little light there is starts flowing towards the mermaid. You struggle with breathing as your airway becomes clogged with blood. No longer able to keep yourself uptight, you collapse against the wall. Oh god. Well, you shakes more violently by the second. It probably won't be long before this place falls apart. You see her, who is still fighting the monster in the dark, and reach out your hand at her with the last bit of your being. Lamia. With it, your consciousness shatters into pieces. The world around you grows twisted, crumbles in six. And this last thing you see is the mermaid, holding to the egg that's nailed to the ground. When the fishes one saves the area, yep. It's time for the mermaid girl to go. Let's go. It's time for the Ascendance fight. She can swim upstream. Very fishy indeed. But would a fishy girl look this nice? Let's go. Oh, they're already dead. That was quick. Let's go swimming. Let's go. I'm the person.
やっと終わったでもまだ余裕かな
I mean, she's still a robot, but yes, most of her parts are not robot. I'll give you a closer look. In her tail form, it's a bit more mechanical, but yeah, most of her body is, you know, most of it's human. So do you want her? But then again, she's probably like the most human of all the characters. And then there is Black Rock Shooter, which is... I actually don't even know what Black Rock Shooter is. Actually, the more recent ones have become more, Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, that's the wrong option. Main. As the torrents of despair pour the hero into the suffocating depths of the sea, both the Grey Ravens and the Guardian of the Cradle receive troubling news. You're neither Symphala, who tends to slowly lose her mind if she loses the egg, or Lamia, who thrives with the egg. Oh, good. The trap sends you straight into the pool at the bottom, trembling and deep as long as the current. Did you, get my login bonus? Or the invite code? The rumble of the earthquake continues in the distance. It sounds as though some gigantic monster are fighting where you can't see them. With your eyes locked on the well's opening, you try to make your way up, only to slide back down, completely exhausted. The fight just now has the last straw for you. Shot. You've been relying on him since you came to. You found yourself not knowing what to do, having never thought that you would have to say goodbye to this soon. Valeria. Don't know much about Scarab, save for the few times you've seen Commandant Valeria walking alongside the rest of her squad. Death is a commonplace on the battlefield, but many still have yet to grow used to it. You just reach into one of the pockets, there sits a candy he left behind. Eat the candy. The cool peppermint with the hint of alcohol restores some of your cool. Clutch onto your candy wrapper and you put it back into your pocket. I've got to find your name tag at least. Your body, however, seems to be failing you. You feel as soon as being skinned alive as your clothes rub against your wounds. The cold, trembling slowly stops you from moving. Fever? When you put your hand on your forehead, somehow you feel a simply lump of red. Huh. Doesn't help that your mind beacon hasn't gone any better, and many negative violent thoughts are now adding to the chaos. Try to cut off the connection. Except Lillian doesn't seem to want to let the connection go. Never knew you said it could do this. No, I can't give up just yet. Haven't even got on my pension yet. People waiting for me. There are people waiting for me. Just what you keep telling yourself, but try as you may, you keep falling back into the well. You're trapped here, at your wits' end, yet you don't know what you have to gain from the world out there either. Out there are countless hetero creatures, an invincible Synthla, and a standard who's shown her true colours. Despair fills your heart, and you never stop looking for the tools to use in your surroundings. Suddenly, as mere flashes pass, you seem to know what it's trying to do. In the corner, it moves back and forth as though trying to show you something. Go for a look. As it's a dirty backpack. Inside is a half pack of compressed biscuits, serum, a dagger, dozens of bullets, and 2 fever pills. The pack looks like something that a scavenger has left here for some reason. Given the timing, you can't help but wonder if this is a trap. But be it that as it may, you need to not have the luxury just to walk away from the backpack now. The biscuits. It tastes normal, like any compressed cookies you've had, except your throat is much too dry for them to go down smoothly. Inject the serum. Just like the biscuits, there's nothing out of the ordinary but about the serum. Take the pills. With the biscuits, the pills begin to deteriorate your throat. Cough. Can't waste these. I've got to swallow them. Hoping to make it easier for the pills to go down your throat, you turn your eyes to the stream that's brought you down here in the first place, knowing that it's probably not the safest choice of liquid. Right now, the well starts shaking more violently, and the round slips of the water that was left. Swallow the pills anyway. As if you haven't suffered enough, the bitter taste of the pills fills your mouth. It takes you a good 10 minutes to swallow both the biscuits and the pills until the upper wall of the well starts shaking again. With it, the well itself slants to the right. Look up. Some mosquito streams down now. This way, through an opening of the wall, bringing it with a half-filled bottle of water. A pack of bandages nearly hits you. The bottle was all crumpled. You picked it up and take an incredulous snip and take a gulp from it. Like everything you found in the backpack just now, there's nothing out of the ordinary about this liquid. It's just what strikes you as weird as well itself. Gotta notice how it's coming down next. Gotta get out of here. You quickly bandage yourself with the bandage from the backpack. With it, the dagger you just found, trying to make your way up again. The dagger proves itself very useful. No, it's there. Halfway up, however, the shaking begins again. You have a bad feeling about it. Countless metal bars pierce through the wall, blocking the well's opening. In a panic, your hands let go, sending you falling straight back down to the bottom of the well. Was that Lithos? He said that there was one last injection to go, which is why you need to stay alive. This is the last place you want to be stuck if that was Lithos. Pick up the dagger again, ready to leave the climb another try. The unevenness of the ground stops you cold. Inspect the ground. The lights coming down through the wells, you feel the ground, and notice that the protruding parts even form a line of words. Please stay in. It's dangerous outside. I'm not gonna sit around and wait for you to come and give me that last shot, Lithos. As well as the shaking ground was more violent still, screaming writings began to surface all around you, as though the walls were alive with a part of the hetero creature. I'm sorry, please, it's very dangerous here. Please stay here, it's very dangerous. Here, dangerous, please stay, dangerous, please, in, outside, dangerous, please, this place is very dangerous, please, here, very dangerous place, stay, dangerous place, inside, it's very dangerous, I'm sorry, please, this place, dangerous place, inside, outside, dangerous. I won't last much longer, simply is. The mouth of the well is closing in. Please, please stay here, it's too dangerous. These all sound like the plea of a dying man. I'm sorry, please. It's very dangerous here. Dangerous, dangerous. Words of the uneven walls scream out, pleading for the humans to stay here. Fine, I'll do as you say. The tremors all around her gradually subside as the mouthful returns to its original state, if understanding what you've said. As if the painkillers start to take effect, you are washed away with fatigue. At your wit's end, you lean against the wall before sitting down, slowly closing your eyes. I wonder how they're holding up. 4 a.m. Raven commences a blanket search of the designated area, locking into a long abandoned hospital as their target. Sneaking into the underground morgue, Liv discovers a hidden door behind the freezer of the 13th body. What lies before the three of them now is a scene of utter despair. Commandant. An unbearable stench assaults the senses. Behind the hidden door is a room of 6 bodies, all bearing the same face. Some of them are stiff, while some have started to decompose, others are still bleeding from their wounds. Regardless of their state, these bodies all bear the tragic expressions, if trying to show that they had been through before meeting their fates. Finding the boiling pain in her mind, Lucia grasps Liv's trembling hand. Lively? The blood on some of these bodies is still fresh. There might still be hope. Let's check on them first. These might just be clones, but it might be Ascenders trying to fool us. But whatever it might be, I know. Seeing Lucia struggle to find her words, Liv gently shakes her head. Regaining her composure, quickly looks at the blood-stained bodies to check if any signs of life. Lee have a raising place, looking somewhat out of it. Lee? Lee says nothing, as though he hasn't heard a thing. Lee. It's only when Lucia jolts him by the shoulder that Lee finally snaps back to the present from the distant past. Let's check out the other rooms, without giving up any hope. Whether or not Lee quickly leaves the pool of blood behind, he didn't give up, nor was he crushed by what he'd seen. He's just feeling overwhelmed by a familiar headache. He doesn't understand, though. It's why he's finding it familiar. Breaking through the partition wall covered in dust, the trio finds a clean space beyond the stench and bloodstains. It is space for rows of empty cryogenic chambers, with only the one at the far end containing a person who looks exactly like their commandant. This commandant is still alive. Lucia, call for backup. I called them the moment we entered. They're on their way now. Is this really okay? We look at the body before them, still with a heartbeat, and exchanges of silent glances. They can really turn a blind eye to the certain question they haven't been able to answer if their commandant never turns up again. But just exactly what do they have to do with this lookalike off the chance they found their commandant soon? After a long silence, the three decide to leave these questions unanswered. Commandant has only been missing for 16 days. Is that really enough time for someone even with growth drugs to go from birth to state these clones are now? These clones were here before Commandant went missing. That much I can say for sure. But what exactly did... Wait, we can hack into this terminal here. Lee brings up the projection keyboard and inserts his storage device into the terminal. After quite some time, the surveillance footage from a while back is recovered. The footage shows Liv was overseeing a couple of constructs as they move a large machine in here. What's this? I know what that is. It's a memory synchronizer and Professor Hippocrates' data on it. A memory synchronizer? Yes, it synchronizes memories between two brains. It was used during the Golden Age to treat amnesia and some illegal research. It damaged the brain easily, though, so they stopped using it. In the footage, Liv was gently caressing the machine, muttering to himself. Now, I'll have to bring you all the here from Old Winter. This is where I'll be giving your memories back to you. Let's hope this machine still works. I'm sorry it took me that long to finally notice who you are. The footage ends here. Fort Winter, If what he said is true, that means these people were created before Commandant went missing. Wait. A human skeleton.
They had lost all patience. I saw a human skeleton near the access device when Alpha and I were at Fort Winter. Is that when...
Human skeleton? As in bones and no flesh?
No, I couldn't date it because it didn't seem like it had decayed naturally. But here's my guess. If there was a window of opportunity for anyone to do anything before Commandant went missing, it would have been after the mission with Fanshin to set up the domain nodes and along with Arsenal vaporize the Red Tide. Remember how we were told to stand by in the prep room when they clearly could have used help?
I do. Commandant was trying to find out what was happening but was immediately taken away. They said they needed to monitor memory replays caused by the corrupted mind beacon.
Nobody knew what those medical checks were or for what they took.
Says Lucia, the hilt of the knife in her hand on the verge of being crushed by her grip.
Is this all a Project Winter? But Fort Winter has been turned upside down. Why can't they just let it go already? They must have run out of choice. People probably shunned them at all costs even if they managed to survive the punishment from the purifying force, which is why they chosen the thorny path, says Liv as she tries to suppress her own anger. Lithos needed a memory sync because mind and self-consciousness go in hand. That couldn't have happened without memory.
That's why they took Commandant, so they could memory sync Commandant.
I'm sorry, mister. I lost track of Sard, and Simba has gone berserk from being awakened prematurely.
Oh, you see, he's severely injured, are fast asleep at the bottom of the well. Liv was just pointing the situation here to his agent amidst the chaos. Veronica says nothing, waiting for Lysis to finish delivering all the bad news at once. He knows well that Liv wouldn't have come to bother him if there were a workaround.
The three of them orchestrated an explosion, destroying all the mind backups stored nearby simply. Can't keep her stabilized anymore with my replicated mind.
Your replicated mind was never stable to begin with. It was only meant to serve as a sedative while Synfla was asleep. It's supposed to crash and burn as soon as she wakens, which is why I told you to seek reliable backup plans, even if it means taking more time.
I'm just hoping to speed things up with your plan. Clenches his arm and self-free approach, nearly crushing them. It's my fault. I left Look in my room, and she broke through the partition. That's how they found out about that room. Shrik's replicated mind has been destroyed too. If we don't do something about Simpler, the consciousness she's implanted into the crater will be contaminated and collapse too. And we'll lose control of this place, and her cradle too, if that happens.
That's exactly why you failed to notice it when they approached your room. I've told you to exercise your caution if you want to control the cradle within him. I've also advised against keeping Lockie around. Your experiment is finished. What you need to do now is to free her from her suffering.
She's one of us. She deserves to live, and she dies.
You allow those humans to seek death, and you deny Loki the same? Is it Loki who needs to live? Or is it who needs her to live?
I'm sorry.
What do you make of this, Commandant?
I don't know. We had no idea who the connector was behind that wall when we were running mind connection experiments back up for Winter. I'm not who I was then. I followed along the same plot I connected with.
So what do you think now?
Mister, I promise you that no matter what happens, I will see this plan through.
He answers Vonnegutt's doubts of a promise.
I ask you that you believe me.
Your mission isn't finished, so don't dissolve yourself into Simpler just yet.
Yeah, I know.
It's because the Lithos can only die after this that he asks his agent for help. It still pains him to know that his death is being treated as an insignificant matter.
Lamia infiltrated this place and took us into Link.
Luna's pawn didn't get here too late at all. Pick a cloak and Doctor's ponders for a moment. I didn't bother, then since it isn't Alpha, as long as Simpler lives on, the crater can be rebuilt. This Commandant is just one injection, a little time away from the full effect of the medication. You need to find them at once. The egg has accumulated quite a few stable shards and is only one step from hatching. I just need to see it hatch and make sure Synthla survives now.
That's all you need? What are you gonna do with Scintillate if she doesn't hatch?
She's well prepared for that. She went back to Synthla knowing this might happen. I'm not going to stop you if you can salvage her too. Nifus knows this isn't something he is capable of, not to mention that Vonnegut starts entertaining the thought of forsaking the crater the second he learns of Lamia's invasion. Using Lamia would maximize what he can get out of Synthla and the Commandant because he needs the cradle and the aid to connect with each other to bewitch the holder. Now that with the joystick gone, he's lost control of both Synthla and the cradle. Use the key I left to unlock the device in the control room. You'll find your last mind replica there.
You mean?
Right, that's the replicant frame you left behind before becoming Ascended. Stabilize Synthla with it.
With Synthla and the crater out of patrol, the frame alone won't last long.
That's why you need to inject the Commandant with the final dose as soon as possible. Leave the retrieval of the egg and Synthla to Lilith. Nifus wants to say more than realize his own mistakes don't give him the right to object. He once hoped to use his past self to escape back to a time when things were untarnished. Looking back now, however, he knows that he can't be further from achieving it. Thinking that he had this coming to him, Nifus almost wants to laugh at himself. And while we're still at this, Nifus, but this person, now a completely different man from when they first met, quietly stops him and utters the very same words he did the day they first met. Don't rely too much on pain.
Gently touching the spikes in his chest that won't spare him the pain, Nifus passes through the corridor filled with hedgehog creatures to retrieve the key Vonnegut measured and heads towards the control room. And he walks and he removes the hair accessory from his head, shredding the long hair and dress that belonged to Rose, and with a sigh changes into clothes he used to wear at the orphanage.
That he was cosplaying the entire time? Lifos was like cosplay. I guess that makes sense.
I'm sorry, Rose. I might look like you, but I still have a hard time bringing myself to like myself. And the pain is the only one way I know to seek forgiveness. Let me be the person I was and face the person I was then. Until now, Lifos has been relying on pain and self-punishment to stay lucid. This is the mind beacon Lifos has always been attentive to, and he has come far walking down this path. And while Lifos has been replicated more times than he can ever recount, there's an individual known as Lifos will always remember. The very moment when the paper crane, a medical chair, a kind-hearted donor given him, was turned into a punishment chair. All those painful times he has had to live through. After becoming an Ascended, of which is that, he fell for Ravager's trick and accepted his help. All the fathers from the orphanage, everything Ravager had done, all the unbloomed flowers were nailed to paper crane. Before they had their buds forced open, the pistils plucked again and again to become specimens or toys. They said they were doing it for his good, claimed that they loved those little buds too much to ever want to hurt them. Now a grown-up himself, Lifos equates intense, painful tug at heart with love, having never truly experienced love in that distorted, sanquisted paradise. The more intense the pain carved into his soul, the more genuine his twisted confession. All these have turned Lifos into the person he is today, one who fed a rabbit a piece of flesh he cut off himself. I did it for the rabbit. I just can't sit around and watch the starve, can I? But what becomes a rabbit that's tasted flesh and blood? Lifos' love has led him nowhere. Much like his path has taken him this far as an Ascended. He sets out hoping to see a brand new future and finds him wandering further into the thorns and fog. He knows only too well that what a villain won't stop being a villain simply because he's been victimized, which tears his soul in half. He is Lifos. He's also father's, has become an offender since he's made a victim. He wishes they could all live peacefully looking forward to tomorrow,
instead of having to trek the long twisted river of the Ascension network and hurting so many people along the way. Having been raised by his fathers, Lifos doesn't know how to go about life in ways his fathers have never shown him, which is why he sees what he's doing now as the best way out. In the disaster train leaves no time for anyone to hear his sack now. And to that end, he doesn't care how many people he's going to get hurt. So long as he keeps a handful of them safe, this is the kind of filtering that Lifos stands by. He's been tormented by what he has done. He resorts to lying to help himself feel better. He's been telling people that he's doing these things for their good. They have to do as he says to survive, to the point he falls prey to his own lies. Dying on a periodic basis helps get these heavy emotions off Lifos' chest, as much as he knows that this is but a temporary getaway. His idea of an ideal death would have been get torn, crushed completely alongside Paper Crane, all the while constantly enduring torment 1,000-fold worse than he had in the past. It's only through pain so excruciating that he thinks he can find temporary forgiveness in himself for himself. It's only then he can bid a graceful farewell. Man. Bloody hell. This person has so many issues. I think out of all the characters that's been in Punishing Grey Raven, he's probably the one that has the most conflict. She's been through probably the most. Then again, you got Ambria. She was a child who was turned into a living weapon. When I think about it, actually, there's quite a few characters that had miserable experiences. Look at Rosetta. She didn't want people to kill a biomechanical narwhal, so she stood in front of people in the narwhal so the narwhal can escape, only for her to be converted into a construct and be used as a guard dog. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Well, anyway, thank you for coming into this stream, and I will be seeing you all next time. Good luck. Take care.